Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the weekly Scramble. This is Jacob from Shattered Egg.
And I'm Nick from Shattered Egg.
We have a lot to talk about today. First, I'd like to cheers you, Nick. Had a good week today.
Great week.
Had a lot of great movies we watched, and we're really excited to be talking about
them. Really good week for movies, wasn't it?
Yeah, so what pretty much the plan is, we're going to talk about what we saw in theaters. We're going to talk about anything we saw rewatchable, whether it's through streaming or wherever you saw it. And then we're going to give our go-to list. I think we said top 10 list on watching around the Halloween, October area.
That's right, because we're, 2-3 days out from Halloween right now. And like any time of year, as soon as October rolls around, you're probably the same way.
Yep.
I'm watching
it's like clockwork.
I'm watching a Halloween movie every night of the month.
It's kind of like, just like, hey, every single day once that first hits, you start with a bang and you continue to just go, whether it's a horror movie or whether it's a Halloween movie. And that's what we're going to kind of do. We're going to go over our top 10 list. We both haven't really even shared our list, so we don't even know who's on each's list. So it's going to be interesting who puts what on what list. So yeah, I guess we'll start with in theaters. What did you see this week?
So in theaters, I went to The Substance. Well, last week, let's start with last week. I went to My Old Ass with Aubrey Plaza in her movie. It's a movie out of Canada. Really well told, coming of age tale. We did the review for it on our Instagram page. If you're interested or if you've been wondering, hey, do I want to go and see this? Check it out. We gave it a pretty darn good review, in my opinion. Moved there to The Substance, which Jacob saw as well. Spoiler alert, we both really liked it. Didn't know what the hell it was. Worth going to in theaters. And then followed it up, closed it out with, two movies. One, Never Let Go, which was, maybe that was a picture of things to come, because we just finished up today with...
And it just opened last night, so we're going pretty much the first day.
Oh, God. Tell them, okay, before we get to it, before we dive in deep on it, what did you see prior to the posthumous release of Megalopolis?
Yeah, the Megalopolis. That was an interesting experience.
Holy shit!
Together. We actually just watched it a couple hours ago, and wow. So I saw The Substance as well. I actually watched it last night, and to your point, just like kind of the only really word to really describe it is wow. There's just like a lot of different elements to the movie.
You're talking about The Substance, right?
Yeah, pretty much Substance. I mean, the other movie wowed in a lot of ways you don't really want to wow. Francis Ford Coppola is pretty much the GOAT in my eyes. I mean, I wouldn't say the best of all time, but hey, you direct
He's up there. He's up there, though.
You direct the best movie of all time, you have to be up there.
Which one are you talking about?
The Godfather.
Yeah, well, Godfather 1, 2, 3.
Godfather, you could say whatever you want. Or Apocalypse Now. Right, so it's like he's had so many different hits, and so we went into it really with an open mind, and we were really excited about it. And I don't know, it just really didn't hit on any cylinders. It's just a lot of different scrambling, a lot of different stories going on. Great actors, really good actors, but just didn't deliver.
Didn't it kind of feel though, when you're watching Megalopolis, and even within the first 5 minutes, for me anyways, I already knew that what we were in store for was not going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
And that's really tough.
I mean, when you go a whole hour of not understanding what the whole plot is, I'm sorry, just a side note, and I'm going to get this on camera so you guys can see what we're seeing. We have a really, really great fan.
We got a great mascot.
And he
Mesa.
really, really wants to join us. And I will show you. I'll put this in our video. What a character.
He's a good boy. No, like when you're watching that movie though today, and you're hitting a matinee, and by the way, for a Friday matinee,
A lot of people.
A lot of people in there. So clearly people had this on their list to go to. And I always think this, but it's not always the case, because at the Substance, when we went to it, I mean, you had times where people were laughing, at times that it felt serious, and it should have been like taken with a little bit more gravity. But the Substance as a film was hitting those marks. Like it knew what it was. It was a body horror movie that knew when the appropriate time was to like either make fun of itself or joke at its absurdity. Megalopolis, though, I don't know if it knew that it was supposed to not take itself so seriously, or if it did. Like, people are laughing at very, very inappropriate times during Megalopolis, and I feel bad because, there are really great actors in it, and watching Adam Driver get laughs at times where you can kind of tell he's almost, I don't know, I'd almost want to watch like a cast and crew thing, like listening to them go, what were they trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it was a weird experience, right? And it's funny, in the theaters it felt a lot longer than it was. I told him right after, I'm like, what was that, 3-hour movie? And he looked it up. It was like 2 hours and 20-minute running time. So not the longest movie by whatsoever, but it felt so long. Felt like it was dragging. Plot really wasn't there. Dialogue, eh. Side note about the movie. The girl. You know who she looked like, and I thought she was? I thought it was Jessica Alba the whole time.
Oh, you're talking about Natalie Emmanuel.
Yeah, she looks literally just like Jessica Alba.
She's a beautiful actress. She's Missandei in Game of Thrones, and I felt bad because it's such a great opportunity for her in her career to get a movie like that. There were just multiple times where I didn't believe anything that was being said by any of the characters. Like almost like the actors weren't sure of what was going on in any given scene.
Yeah. So, overall, what did you rate it?
2.2.
Yeah, I pretty much say the 2s as well.
By the way, we work off of a 5-star scale.
Yes. So
when you think about when we're doing these, these decimal scales, if you want to look at it from an at 10 scale, then you know what? Megalopolis was a 4.4 out of 10, which means bad. Failing grade. Yeah.
Really bad. Really bad.
Which is too bad because, like we were saying, we posted about this earlier. And we talked about it last week, too. The man in the arena of, you don't want to criticize someone that puts their blood, sweat, tears, and effort into something. But as an audience, your blood, sweat, and tears are being invested into going to a movie. You're taking 2 hours out of your day. And in the time that we live in now, it's precious. People are trying to make money. And you spend $40, not with AMC Plus, or AMC A-list pass. If you don't have it, you have an AMC near you. Literally best investment ever. Spend $0 on movies up to 3 times a week. If you're like me, though, you are free upgrades. Got already $20 worth of rewards, but it still holds true.
He was going to say something. I'm going to let him finish. If you are like him, it's not really actually free because every time you go to the movies, you have to tell me your regimen.
Well, for the 11:45 a.m. showing today, I got a regular popcorn, bag of M&Ms, and a large Sprite Zero.
Hey, doesn't sound free to me, but hey.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how you could sit through that movie like you got a bottle of water. You got up 3 times during the movie to go to the bathroom or just to give yourself that's the other thing. Good movies, you do not get up during. I didn't get up during this movie. I wanted to. I almost looked at Jacob and said, let's get out. There's going to be there's not going to be a good ending.
How bad does a movie have to be for you to get up and leave?
I've only gotten up and left a few movies in my life. One of them was August Osage. No, not that. Oh, my God. What was the movie with Leo? Scorsese just did it.
Oh, was it The Irishman?
No.
Oh, which one?
The one that takes place in Oklahoma. His most recent one.
Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah, I had to leave that one. I haven't finished it yet today. Well, I had to get up because I went to the 9 p.m. showing, and I had gotten up at 5 a.m. that day. And it's a 3-hour movie. I looked at
It's like 3.5.
Oh, I was about ready to fall asleep, so I had to leave.
I understand that. I think that that Brad Pitt movie where he's like an astronaut. Was it Ad Astra?
Yeah.
I walked that out.
Yeah, I walked out of Ultraviolet as a kid with Mia Jovovich. I walked out of Mr. and Mrs. Smith as a kid. Now later on, as I've grown older, I have a better appreciation for that movie. Yeah, it takes a bad movie for you to go and say, I know I spent money on this and I'm not going to finish.
Yeah. I was thinking also while you were talking, would you take the substance? Would you do it?
No.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't either. And it's funny, the whole movie, I was thinking the whole theme in my head, I'm like, the grass is always greener on the other side, right? So it's like when, and I love the whole Dennis Quaid part in the movie.
He kills it. He's so good in it.
He was really good. And I was just like, when you're Demi Moore and you're just getting pretty much just shut down by life because you pretty much at the back nine.
You've aged out, yeah.
And you're just thinking, you're like, okay, what would make my life better? What, me being younger, me being better looking, me being in better shape. And, her always having those thoughts and always seeking something she doesn't have, right? And that's just like a theme in life, right? So we're always trying to get things that we can't have, right? We can't really obtain. But we're chasing things, and once we get those things, more problems, come up, right? So it's like with this movie, it really shows you like, hey, you can get what you think you get, but there's going to be more and more problems that come about with that. So really have to decide really carefully of what you're trying to do before you really do it.
I kind of felt like Demi Moore today, where how she pigs out in the movie a bunch when it's her turn because she doesn't want to go out. Like she's reclined herself to the she has no purpose. So of course you just binge eat. Yeah. I felt like that a little bit today. So I get where she's coming from. Like regular popcorn, candy, Sprite Zero, and I felt sick as a dog at our lunch after the movie. Still took down birria tacos, a bunch of chips. I didn't
even notice. I don't know if it's the lack of me having zero awareness of that stuff, but I didn't even notice. So you took it like a champ. So
thank you.
Substance, I honestly probably around 3.4, 3.5. I really liked it. Definitely check it out. I wouldn't go with my mother. I probably wouldn't even go with my girlfriend because she'd probably get pissed off on it too.
Definitely gonna watch it at home alone one night, if you know what I mean.
So check it out, guys. Check it out. So, you want to talk about Halloween stuff, or you want to talk about rewatchable stuff?
Let's get into Halloween stuff, man. Right, we're 3 days out. Yeah, cool. I bet everyone here's thinking about, shoot, what are you going to dress up for Halloween? What are you going to wear? What are you going to watch with?
What are you going to wear? Are you going to be anybody?
I might go as Rick Grimes again from The Walking Dead. That one has served me well in the past.
Why Rick Grimes? Why not Daryl Dixon?
Because I can't pull off Daryl. Yeah, and with Rick, I mean, come on, man, it's Rick. You like Rick Grimes, you put the blood all over your face, you got to wear the cool boots.
Daryl's the man.
Daryl's the man, but Rick's a badass.
So side note, again, I'm sorry for all my side notes here. I was watching the football game last night, and now they're doing a whole nother spinoff on Walking Dead, and it's Daryl Dixon and Carol in France.
Yeah, Carol's finally rejoining. They're on season 2 of that.
That's insane.
Yeah, they don't. I haven't watched it. It kind of lost its luster after season 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Great show up till about season 5 or 6. Some of the best television.
Alexandria, and then you kind of fell off. After you get to Alexandria, it kind of was just kind of.
Well, that is also a show too. I like to throw on. I usually throw on during Halloween, around season 4, 5.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah, those are good seasons.
All right, so let's alternate. You want to go with one first?
I don't have my list in front of me, but I know the number 1 on my list.
So are you actually listing them and ranking them way you rank them? Or there's no...
No, it changes up every year. It's a feeling. When you log on for the first time, you're like, all right, what do I want to do? What makes the most sense? But it does... I'm always conflicted on which one to start with because if I start with it, it's kind of downhill from there versus if I wait too long and I want to watch it like the night before Halloween, I might not tune in as much. But The Shining is a like must for me every Halloween. Typically, like in the past, I used to do it the night before Halloween,
Yeah.
but now I like to kickstart my October with it.
It's on my list too. Pretty much one of my favorite like Halloween movies. Not really a Halloween movie, but kind of it is a Halloween movie.
But what is it for you? Like everyone has their unique thing about The Shining that keeps pulling them back and back, and like it doesn't get old.
No.
You know there is no director's cut of The Shining. There is no more layers you can peel back. So what keeps you going back?
Well, it's honestly the exact opposite of what you just said. There are so many different things that Kubrick put in this movie that you can figure out that you didn't realize even after watching 10, 15 times, right? So
Yeah.
It's like the whole like figuring out if they're on an Indian burial, you know.
You ever watch the
like,
there used to be a documentary, maybe it's on Prime now, it's called Room 236.
Yeah, and I never saw that. So
it's
like,
on
exactly.
Room 236. If you like The Shining or anything like that or like Stanley Kubrick, really it's not just on The Shining, it's about all the messaging that he puts in every movie he ever directed. Now, it's all opinion, it's all theory. Or is it?
You know, and then like, hey, at the end, Jack, does the hotel take him? The hotel already has
Okay.
It's like, what does that even mean, right? Every single time I think about it, and I'm like,
let's hear everyone else's opinions on this. But okay, was Jack a part of the hotel? And we're talking just the movie, not the book. The movie, not the book. Because if you've read the book, you know the frickin' answer. And the book's way different.
I haven't read the book.
Read the book. Do yourself a favor sometime and get smarter.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's on you. What do you think? Like, is he a part of the hotel?
I think the hotel took him. I think at the end,
like sexually,
the hotel basically put. I guess you are right. I guess he has to be part of the hotel, and is basically part of one of those characters that continue to just recirculate, similar to Grady, right? Grady was a part of the hotel, and he's just one of these, I don't want to say characters, but figures or ghosts that will continue to stay with the hotel.
Well, it's like the idea.
Is Jack that, or does Jack become that after he becomes the caretaker?
Well, so what I think is a big overarching theme of The Shining is the sins of the father and alcoholism.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily mean that Jack was always a part of the Overlook, but could there have been a member of his family that was? Or was there some type of entity? Or was there something was there a shining to Jack? Because where did Danny get his from?
Because he was at the Overlook. And that's how he got it. Because he was there.
See, I don't think so. I think Jack, with Dr. Sleep, Jack shined. Remember? But in the Dr. Sleep movie, they kind of answer it. Danny drank to close it down. Yeah. Jack had all these problems, all these things, drank to put them away. Yeah. So I think Jack also had a shining to him. But he was much more susceptible. He was much more, because think of it. What's he not doing while he's at the Overlook Hotel?
Sure.
So he's open to it.
Yeah.
And it's like a 1,000-watt light bulb going off when they enter in. Not only do they have Danny, who really shines, but they also have Jack. But Jack's easier to corrupt. A child is less hard to corrupt.
Let us know what you think. Let us know your take. I think we were talking about potentially doing some sort of like scramble on literally the Shining itself in October. So maybe one day we both watch it, take some notes, see what our favorite scenes, favorite things to talk about. Hey, at the end of the day, this is what this whole forum is about: movies, rewatching movies, talking about the greatness about these movies and just appreciating them, right?
Stroke our ego a little bit.
Stroke our ego a little here and there. But I guess I can go. I can go next. I guess honestly, I didn't know where to go with this, so I didn't know if we were talking just strictly Halloween or we were talking horror. We were talking scary, whatever way we want. But I'll say Get Out. I think Get Out was a great scary movie. Kind of sets this tone. It's a little creepy. You don't really know what's I mean, of course, you know what happens if you watched it, but you don't really know what's about to happen at the end. It's just a weird movie to just kind of get the blood pumping, get that little scariness going.
Jordan,
just set the tone, right?
Jordan Peele brought out kind of a different way of looking at horror that's kind of based in more realistic to a degree, social psychology. Yeah, I mean, that was a great film. It was a great film.
Yeah, it was. Go ahead. What was yours?
For number 2, we're still keeping it Stephen King. The original, not the one that just got made recently with, I think, Jason Clarke, where they completely just
M. Night
shove their fist up the ass of Stephen King's novel. Pet Sematary.
Oh.
The original Pet Sematary, I think, is still to this day one of the more unsettling horror movies. By the way, if you haven't read the book, this is not a book channel, but I'm just letting you know, like, if a movie has a book on it or it comes from a book and you really like the movie, go read the book. Really will fuck your mind up a bit.
That's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't really even do that. I should do that.
Well, you're not devoted.
Maybe I should be a little more devoted.
No, Pet Sematary, though, is, I mean, hands down, that's a frightening tale.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Never seen it. Have to check it out.
You've really never seen Pet Sematary?
I've never seen it. And I'm going to talk about a movie I've seen probably 50 times because it's a movie that pretty much came out when I was a little kid and when you were a little kid, Halloween Town. It's a movie that pretty much came out every single year on Disney Channel was on, and then they would just milk it. And then they made a second one, and then they made a third one, and then they made a fourth one.
Is Halloween Town the one where the ghost goes into the steam room and he's a big fat guy, and then when he comes out, he's skinny?
Yep, that's exactly it.
That defies all the laws of physics.
Hey, but it's just a cult classic, and it's just a Halloween, something that you kind of watched a long time, and something that you pretty much has been embedded in your DNA for a long time. So.
Like I said, I don't have my list. You know what? Hand me that laptop so I can do this bad boy. Careful. That's new. Careful. She's hot.
We're all about being prepared here at Shattered Egg. We are all about being prepared.
Well, because I know I have them, and I put the list together. Here we go. You know what? Oh! Cabin in the Woods, baby.
M. Night.
No, wrong. Joss Whedon. You're thinking Knock at the Cabin.
No.
The one with Dave Bautista. Speaking of, actually, let's go ahead and add that to the list.
Cabin.
Sixth Sense.
I was thinking Sixth Sense.
And give me a little Signs action, baby, from the old M. Night catalog.
Signs.
Oh, The Visit. The Visit's good.
What about The Ring?
The Ring is an M. Night Shyamalan.
What about The Village?
Fuck The Village.
What about Old?
Great concept, but so poorly acted to the point where you were laughing again. But you know what I respect about M. Night Shyamalan is this.
He puts himself in everything.
No. He funds everything.
Really?
Ever since he got past the whole studio thing, and they would try and like interfere, they wouldn't give him certain amounts of money. So when he did The Visit, and it's a great interview, but he was tired of being on the studio system, so he mortgaged his house to go and make it, and they made the film in I think like 6 to 8 weeks. They put it out, it cost like $2 million, $3 million to make, and it went on to I think make in its first weekend like $20 or $30 million, which goes all to him.
I know.
So now he can make anything he wants to.
That's pretty crazy.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
By the way, Cabin in the Woods, if you haven't seen it, Joss Whedon made this movie, and it's really just an homage to every type of horror movie that has ever taken place at that prototypical Cabin in the Woods, who's pulling the strings. But if for those of you who know the end scene when the elevators all open up, go watch it. It's great.
My next one's Hocus Pocus, another classic. Another classic.
And making a switch. We're going Disney.
About three witches, crazy witches. I honestly always hate this movie my whole life. I've never really liked it, but I've always just watched it.
Because you hate a strong female lead.
I wouldn't say that. I would definitely not say that. But it's another movie that you pretty much have to put in the rotation, right? So I'm going to put it on the list, and that's that, right?
I'm with you. Bette Midler. And also, The Cat is Black, Salem. No, Binksy. Binks! Love Binksy in Hocus Pocus. He's so great. Always wanted a talking cat as a kid. Binksy. Never going to happen. I did have Hocus Pocus on my list, too, so I'm going to fast track to special place in my heart. Kind of some undertones, not even undertones, just what we were talking about with the substance of body horror, really kind of gross out, like fun, comedic, weirdly timed, just everyone's invested. The original, not Fede Alvarez's remake of Evil Dead, the original Sam Raimi Evil Dead from the 70s with Bruce Campbell. I mean, you could go Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness all during Halloween. Those movies are freaking aces. I love them. Saw them when I was a kid. Would refuse to go in the basement because of the whole cellar shit that's in that movie.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary movie.
Still scares me to this day.
I only saw the first one and I hated it, so it's too scary for me.
Like I don't know if we can do this on YouTube, but the tree part lets you fill it in, but tree essentially has sex with a woman against her will in that movie. Very jarring as a kid.
Wow.
All
right.
Cut it.
Well, my next movie is Casper.
The Friendly Ghost?
Our lists are very, very different.
Yeah, you're a real sandbox guy, aren't you? You're building sandcastles, and I'm pulling the heads off dolls.
Hey,
like what I like.
Casper is a cool ghost. I like his friends. I like the mansion. I think it's a good classic. Fun fact for you: I actually owned this on VHS back in the day.
Do you still have a VCR, by the way?
I don't. Yeah, my parents' house.
That would be a fucking cool thing to do. We might do that for the Scramble one time.
I think I do have one at my parents' house. So.
That could be a cool opening to the Scramble. You putting a VHS into a little throwback.
Cool. Let us know if you think that's good or not. But
they won't.
Yeah. So that's one for me. Go ahead.
I mean, you have to do it. I actually just watched it a few nights ago after being out at the bars. I turned on the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's on mine too.
It sucks.
What?
No, it's so bad, man.
It's original.
I know, but you want to talk about movies that were 100% scary back in the day. Nowadays, it's fun to watch because you can see how far horror has come.
I like his running. I think that's the best part.
Michael
Myers running is the best part.
Or just how about he pokes his head out from behind a bush and it's like, and everyone's like, whoa!
I think Halloween's a cult classic. It was number 2 on my list. Something you have to always watch.
Yeah.
Every single year. And that can include Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Halloween 4, Halloween 5.
Fair.
Do they continue? We get to 6?
I think you get all the way up to H2O. Michael Myers Returns. Then you get to the Rob Zombie ones, which are they're not even scary. They're just really unsettling and demented. But I do love Rob Zombie movies. I'm not going to put those on because those are such an acquired taste.
Yeah. So, okay, go ahead.
It, baby. Even if you want to go all the way back to the Tim Curry original or the most recent ones, it's a good one. They're good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with it.
What do you got?
Okay, so we talked about this briefly, and you said I was wrong. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is this a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
It's... Okay, let me pose to you a question there, Dick. Is Krampus a Christmas movie or a
Christmas.
Halloween? Why?
This is about basically destroying Christmas.
So, and what's it take place during?
Christmas.
Thank you.
But this is a Halloween town.
That takes place during.
But this is a Halloween town.
Santa is in the movie.
Halloween town, 365 days a year.
Great. Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie.
This is a Halloween town.
Let us know. Scream is next on the list for me.
Yeah, I was gonna put that on there too.
And I might make it a point this year. I kind of want to go through the first three, not all of them. You know, the new ones.
But how many are there right now at this point?
I think we're up to 6, maybe 7. I don't know. But Scream the original, can't go wrong.
Go through the first 3 again. Give the viewers a nice little thorough review on all 3 of them.
What, the Screams?
Yes.
Well, you got the first one takes place when they're in high school. You got great actors, great people starting their career, getting known. Courtney Cox. Then you move on to number 2. They hit college. Now everything's going a little bit different. You got Jerry O'Connell singing the Partridge Family song at the table. I'm pulling this all off of the top of my memory. Then number 3 is they get out of college. Now they're all out in the world. And I think Cindy Prescott's like an actress now, which doesn't make sense. But then it's like, I'm going to avenge my mother, who was an actress who got screwed out because of your mother, Cindy. Took a dip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for giving us that synopsis of Scream.
I'm not going to go too deep into them. Like, if people haven't seen them, that's their fault. If all they know is the Jenna Ortega ones,
that's your own fault.
That's your own fault.
Okay, go ahead. What else?
It's Europe.
Oh, well, I put Beetlejuice on here.
Beetlejuice!
I think you said it's not even a Halloween movie.
No, Beetlejuice is absolutely a Halloween movie.
If we refer to the tape, which I can, because I edit these videos, you said last week that Beetlejuice isn't really a Halloween movie.
I don't think so.
So that's on my, obviously on my list.
I would have never said that. Beetlejuice is great. Better than the new Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice 2?
Yeah. That's the original. You got Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis in it. Knock it off. You got to go through some type of zombie movie. I went with, now I think about.
Did you Shaun of the Dead?
You could do Shaun of the Dead. You could do Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, or 28 Days Later, or 28 Weeks Later. You got a lot of things to play around with when it comes to zombie movies. It's like, fuck, what did I just watch not too long ago? I think I did The Return of the Night of the Living Dead, which was much more of like a comedy, but like a gaseous leak happens in a small town. Actually, not small town. They make you think it's a small town. It's in L.A. Took place in L.A. Doesn't make any sense.
Not much of a small town to me.
No, it's great. They're like, it's some town in outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And it's like, now they're driving outside, like that's L.A. City Hall. So any zombie movie, just go have fun with it. Oh, how the hell did we not think of this one? How did we not think of The Mummy with Brendan Fraser?
That is not a Halloween movie.
And The Mummy is a Halloween monster.
That is not a Halloween movie.
What about The Wolfman?
That could be a Halloween movie.
Okay.
Mummy is absolutely not a Halloween
What about Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola?
Yes. Frankenstein, yes.
You know what? Now that I think about it, Francis Ford Coppola, he did make some great movies. He completely screwed up on the retelling of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Still a great movie, but you're kind of like, hey, you know what? Francis Ford Coppola had a lot of duds in his career. Are we really surprised?
Kind of, because he had some really good highs.
Well, he got helped out by Mario Puzo with the whole...
He's kind of like my sales career. You know, I have a lot of highs, but I have a lot of lows, too.
Ton of lows.
A ton of lows.
Yeah.
It's like more lows than highs, it feels like now.
What do you got?
I got The Purge. Purge is a great movie. Just about a time... Everybody's wearing a mask. Kind of feels Halloween-esque. Everybody kind of...
A lot of murder.
It kind of feels like Mischief Night, if anybody remembers what that is. Mischief Night, well, at least out here in California, the night before Halloween is when kids would just like fuck up things in people's neighborhoods. So you like TP houses, you do like egging, you do all that type of stuff, and that would be the day before Halloween. And that's what the Purge kind of feels like, mischief night, but on steroids, where you can do whatever and whenever you want during that night.
I like it. It's not bad. The Nightmare on Elm Streets. Really, you could do any of them.
I was going to put that too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we really have to go in the night. Everyone know. If you don't know, like, get your head out of your fucking ass.
Yeah.
They're classics. All right. We got to cruise this thing. Let's go.
I think I'm pretty much good on mine. I think I did all mine. Do you have any other ones?
Yes, one last one. The Thing by John Carpenter, or the remake, holds its own, but still at the end of the day, like, Halloween's an opportunity to go back and watch some of the old classic movies that we grew up with. You know, if there are remakes to them, like, also watch those too, just to see how far films have come. I think it's always a really interesting thing to do. Yeah. And then obviously we threw in Sixth Sense and Signs at the end of it.
Yeah. And we'd love to hear your feedback on what movies you like the best, what movies you don't like, what you agree, don't disagree with us. Please comment on whatever you think, because we love Halloween movies. We love scary movies. Clearly, you love the horror movies more than me. I don't know. I need to venture out a little more. No pun intended with the venturing out of.
Got it. No, at the end of the day, like, this is it's a great time of year for film.
Yeah,
like, and not only that, like, ones that are coming to theaters soon. I can't wait for Smile 2.
That's creepy.
I can't wait.
So
it's going to be good. It's going to be a good movie.
Looks really creepy. I can't wait for the Saturday Night Live movie. That comes out next week. I got my tickets for Monday. That looks pretty interesting. I know you don't really look forward to it. I mean,
how are you going to cast someone to fill Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and Bill Murray's shoes?
Well, you don't know if they're even really in the movie.
I have a feeling that they're probably going to be a strong presence.
I think it's going to be all about Lauren Michaels. And that's all. And about how big of a disaster it was before they started the first show and how they pulled it off. That's all it's going to be about. It's not going to be about those other three actors.
Yeah.
It's going to be about, like, the
Well, like Gilda Radner, all the like. I don't know. Someone's fucking getting high over here, though.
Good.
Anyways, guys, everyone out there that did decide to tune in today.
If there is anybody out there.
If anyone is out there, look, we're going to be doing, we are doing weekly, multiple times a week, reviews on movies. We're going to be doing discussions. We're playing around with what works, and keep tuning in. And if you haven't followed us yet, keep going. Like, it was kind of wild. I was talking to Jacob about this just yesterday. I mean, we've only been at this thing now for probably 3 weeks, and looking about where we've gotten today versus just where we started, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And
it's just a start, right? So, and we're thinking about, we're going to eventually go to film festivals. We're going to start giving information about that, recommendations about smaller indie films that you may not have access to. We're going to be doing a lot of different things that we think that are fun and just people will like. And hey, we just love movies. We just want to share that. And I think that's what the main goal of Shattered Egg is, just being able to kind of just give that to the people.
Yeah. So tune in, crack the frickin' follow button, get the egg in the skillet, come and watch us, keep tuning in. We're going to keep coming to you. And honestly, we're going to keep blowing up your page. Don't join the party late, guys. Until next week, I'm Nick.
I'm Jacob.
See you soon.